What's up, guys? Welcome back into the YouTube channel. If you are new, thank you for stopping in. So we have the 98 behind me. We're gonna be, I guess, getting it ready for its first car show, truck show. The truck still isn't 100% finished. I got some surprises for the roof, maybe the tailgate. We have some powder coating that has to be done. The airbag video of me kind of mocking those up. We still have a lot to do on this truck. But today we're going to be focusing on the inside. We're going to be getting rid of the 40-60 bench seat up here. And actually going to be going to the captain's chairs with center consoles, or center console, excuse me. Nothing against these. I like having the full center console like what's in the Tahoe. After having the Tahoe, it definitely set my mind on doing the captain's chairs. I was going to look for like a 2000 to 2007 center console out of like a Cat Eye or Tahoe Suburban to stick in here, because the center console top's more like this. And I feel like that center console in those years, and like the GMC 800s, they sit up a little bit higher versus the one in the Tahoe. It kind of is more like a low profile. No big deal. I can always yank it out and swap it if needed. A lot of guys say the GMT 800, so like the 2000 to 07. Center consoles basically mount up to, like, grab the handy dandy light, basically where our seat's gonna bolt down, which I gotta drill holes. No big deal. Where they mount up, you just bend the GMT 800 center console mounting legs over, and then you just basically where the bolt holes go in for the seat, you just basically bolt everything together, which is pretty simple. I'm gonna go ahead and get these yanked out, and then while they're out, we are definitely gonna be cleaning the truck because it hasn't been cleaned since my wedding back in September. So I'm kind of ashamed of it. I mean, you look at the seat and it's just got a bunch of crap in it. And then we got to find a spot for all the junk in the center console. Shout out to the Daninator. I still have your sticker in here. I think I'm gonna end up putting it like up here somewhere. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up, get a time lapse going, and get everything pulled. Shouldn't be too difficult. Got to pop the side covers off, just a couple Phillips screws, and then take our 4 mounting bolts out, undo our hardware for our powered seats because we're bougie like that, and repeat the process over on the passenger side. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. I was trying to get the best angle without being into the camera. So we took our 4 bolts out to hold the seat down, disconnected it here. The passenger seat's ready to go. We're moving on. In the one time lapse, I took that back bolt out right here where my finger is. So I only have 3 left on this seat, and then disconnect it and slide that one out. Not too difficult. That section might be a little heavy, so I guess if you had an extra hand, it would make things a little bit easier. But we're no weenie. I eat my Wheaties. We'll get that thing yanked out. But like I said, hopefully you guys could see that stuff all right. I was trying to set it up, like I said, in the best way possible with the lighting and stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera back up, get this thing yanked out, get those 3 bolts out, disconnected and pulled out, and we're gonna get this seat swap on the move. All right, well, we got both seats removed. I end up breaking the button on the driver's seat, but that's no big deal because I'll end up having to go to a junkyard and get new ones anyway, because, well, we don't have a center seat anymore, so that defeats the purpose of having 2 plugs here, unless you want to be extra safe and maybe wear 2 seat belts. I mean, with my driving, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea anyway, if you ask my wife. But nope, like I said, we end up breaking this piece. No big deal, because obviously we have the center, what used to be the center seat buckle. We won't need that anymore. So there's a junkyard about, I don't know, 20 minutes south of me. There's a Yukon or Tahoe down there that's got the blue leather interior. So I'll just run down there, rob the buckles out of it, and call it a day. But we're gonna go ahead and get this thing vacuumed out because it is filthy. I went ahead and pulled the floor mat out of the driver's side. I'm gonna pull this one out. And I'm just gonna work on the front half now, so I at least can get everything buttoned up this evening. And then tomorrow when I come back down, we'll probably pull everything out of the rear and get it cleaned out. It probably makes sense to do the rear first, but I just wanna really get the seats in here, and I'm a very impatient person when it comes to stuff like this. So we're gonna go ahead and get the seats in here. Probably start with the center console, get it mounted, and then go from there. On the interior of the truck, guys, and if I have one cleaning tool tip to give you guys, it would be to get one of these drill brushes. These things are the cat's when cleaning vehicles. I detail vehicles. Brushes have saved me in so many. I mean, look at all that stuff that just comes flying up, and it makes everything so much easier. It works on like pet hair, dirt, I mean, you name it, it works. So it definitely helps and makes my life a lot easier. So if you need one tool to clean your vehicle, be sure to go on Amazon and just pick up I mean, you can get those for like 20 bucks for like a pack of 4 of them. And they come in like different sizes. You have like a cone like that. You have a bigger brush head like this. There's a little bit smaller one. So go grab you one. If you're one of those guys that like to clean your own vehicle, I highly recommend them. Alrighty guys, so it is currently the next morning. Just to give you a quick update, I think the last clip you guys seen was a time lapse of me scrubbing the center console. I'm gonna say a crackhead definitely owned these seats and everything before me. The guy I bought them off of, super nice guy. I think he bought the truck as like a parts truck to kind of build. And I think he said it was definitely like a crackhead owned it. Because I mean, it was pretty dirty down in there. I think this piece here, I might get a, like a rubber, basically what goes in like your toolbox, like that rubbery material that goes in the drawers of your toolbox. I'll probably trim it out and then maybe glue it in there to kind of dress that up. But we got everything else fairly clean. I'm gonna hit this with some leather and plastic protectant. And then as far as the seats go, I started shampooing this one over here. I did have to change knob to recline the seat. If you guys can see it, I'm kind of in the wrong position. There we go. Now you can probably, I had to change it, and then we went ahead and shampooed everything. And I'm just gonna kind of let it sit here in the sun, let it dry, and then I'll vacuum in the crack and everything. But everything else is going fairly smooth, I should say. I did have to, there's a big stain right in here. You can still kind of see it, but I mean, it looked like oil. I think I dumped some oil back here. I might go over it one more time, but it was much, much worse. And then everything else is pretty much clean, ready to go. I'm gonna get the center console, like I said, wiped down and set it in here. And then I'm gonna get the passenger seat and get it set in here, which technically I could have used the original passenger seat, but obviously that one doesn't have a fold down armrest like the other ones do. So is that a big deal? No, but I kind of want them to match. So we're gonna go ahead and get the passenger seat from over there on the other, or the wash bay side, get it over here cleaned up, and hopefully we can get everything mounted. All right, so doing this seat swap, it dawned on me when I put the center console in there. I was like, I don't know how far forward it needs to be. I don't know how far backwards it needs to be. I had no clue. So luckily, the Tahoe is the same interior. Obviously, it's just brown. So I ran up there and took a quick measurement. to kind of get it centered. So when the passenger door will be shut, I took a measurement right off of this hump over to the center console, and then from the bottom of the outlet, like ashtray area, up to the front. And we're about 10.5 inches from front of the center console up to there, and we're 25 inches over from, like I said, that little hump here in the door to the corner. So that should get us pretty centered. If anybody else needs that information, if you're doing this seat swap, well, there you go. We got everything wiped down. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing mounted in place. I got my main cavity pulled out, and luckily I had a spare of one of these change holders that the Tahoe had, and it goes just like that. So brand new parts and old equipment. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this mounted down. I'm probably just going to take some of the largest self-tapper screws I have and run them through the hole. I'm not too worried about it as long as it doesn't move too much. I think we'll be pretty good. And it's also nice because it kind of follows the contour of the carpet and like the transmission hump, so you can kind of go off that. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing lined up. Like I said, grab some probably self-tappers about yay long, and the size of my pinky, maybe a little smaller, with a washer, and we're going to run it straight down through the existing, don't mind how dirty it is in there, existing holes right there and there, those two holes. So we're going to do that and bring you guys back. That seat's drying. We got to do the passenger seat. Then hopefully the interior swap is complete, other than, like I said, getting our new seat belt buckles, because, well, we don't need the center belt loop anymore. I might hold on to those because I'm not sure if I'm gonna get rid of these seats, if I'm gonna hold them, stick them up there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet, but yeah, I might save those just in case. But enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and get everything tightened down and fastened in, and move on to something else. So guys, unfortunately, when swapping from that 60/40 bench to these captain chairs, you're gonna have to drill holes for your inside seat brackets, because on that 60/40, obviously you had your outside bracket, which is closer to the door on this side. These marks here are going to be your inside for the new seat, but on the old one, like I said, you had your outside, and then it kind of came up, and then it mounted all together with like the center seat, so you didn't have any brackets through here. So I'm going to go ahead and take a drill bit and drill through, and then I'll probably just stick a 1/2 inch bolt. I should be able to get to the underneath side of the floor pan. I looked, and we seem pretty clear underneath there. I just got to make sure I got a long enough bolt that will poke through, and then I can put a nut on the bottom. If I want to make it like professional, quote unquote, I could probably take a bolt and stick it through there, and then go underneath there with the nut and tighten the nut all the way up, and then take the welder and tack the nut. That way, if I ever have to pull the seats out, it's basically just like the factory with like a threaded insert. You can just back it out and don't even have to worry about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these drilled real quick, and then get this other seat thrown in here, and should be squared away, other than mounting our center console. Okay, so we have the driver's seat in. It is mounted. I got my holes drilled, re-vacuumed everything. The only thing, like I said, with doing this swap, with drilling your holes, I thought the passenger seat was going to be a direct bolt in, but it wasn't. The bracket on the new one is shorter than what was on the previous seat, and I was hoping I was just going to be able to swap platforms, but on this seat it's narrower. So where my bolting hardware is on the actual slide and everything is narrower than what this one is. So I just swapped it back. And I'm thinking, instead of drilling holes for this, I might eventually pull the seat bracket out and just weld a little tab to the back of it here, and then paint it all black or blue. And that way I can use my original fasteners. But everything is in, everything is adjustable. Center console's bolted down nice and sturdy. Like I said, we got all our measurements and everything. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick all my tools up. Like I said, this is fairly simple, other than a few little modification like bolt holes you got to drill. Other than that, it's a cakewalk. If you guys got any questions on this, just feel free to let me know down in the comments. Now it's time to get this thing cleaned up for the truck show, car show this evening that we're gonna be going to. It needs a bath. I gotta put a couple decals and stuff on, but I'm just gonna do all that off camera. I don't want my camera equipment getting wet. But we're gonna go ahead, get everything transferred over from the center console in this one over to that one. My wife graciously and generously cleaned out the back seat, so thank you to her. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Remember, learning as I do, doing I love. I'm the GM Man, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.